Hello nerds! We are talking about music in this video. This is a pre-recorded clip, so my shirt's about to change, but it is going to be a great music section. If you want to see the entire news video, then you can check out the top link in the description. That being said, let's talk about all of the wonderful nerdy music that there is to talk about. Okay, so music section, starting things off, we have no follow-ups, no corrections. We are going to do reaction review things very briefly. First on the docket for the brief reaction reviews are Ice Nine Kills Funeral Derangements. So, reacting to this video, this is the song that I have wanted Ice Nine Kills to make ever since I found this band. There are sections that they've done previously that are fantastic. There are sections that they've done previously that I really feel like they're still trying to find their sound. I'm very specifically talking about the aggressive sections they've done pretty well up until this point, and their melodic sections in songs, they really are weak, I guess is a succinct way of putting it. This new Funeral Derangement song is the first track that I have listened to off of their newest record, Silver Scream Part 2. I don't remember the subtitle for the record, I apologize, but it is impressive, to say the least. Modern metal, modern whatever subgenre you want to put this in for metal definitely needs to take note rather, because this song I was reminded very, very briefly of Slipknot in the way this track starts. If you remember back to Slipknot's self-titled record, Sick, starts really balls out and in your face, and that is exactly what Ice Nine Kills is doing here. There is definitely those melodic sections of this song. The first time you get into that is actually a little bit deeper than expected, so that was fun playing with the form a little bit, but the first section starts off a little weak, but they definitely grow into it. It is like they're taking the notes that they need to be taking and growing as artists, and it's great. If you are into modern metal, this is definitely a track you need to be listening to. Watch the video because their videos are fantastic. We even get Bill Moseley has a little cameo at the end of the video. Chop Top himself from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Yeah, there is a lot of fantastic about this song. As far as the production goes, everything sounds beautiful to my producer's ear. I wouldn't honestly change a thing. I would change a little bit of the performance in the vocals, but that again is probably more of a style thing for my taste than anything else, but definitely worth a listen. Our next song on the docket for review reaction quickies is Aaron Lewis. We have Am I the Only One, the infamous song that he recorded and released a little while ago. We talked about it briefly on the channel, so let's talk about the actual song. Let's get into the reaction because it's the first time I've listened to it, probably the first time a lot of you have listened to it. So Aaron Lewis, for those that don't know, is also the vocalist for the band Stained. This is not a song that is directly associated with that band, so you can get those comparisons kind of out the window a little bit. Aaron's solo work is a little more country, a little more Americana, I guess is more appropriate. So this song is definitely in that vein. Is not quite as over the top as I was led to believe. If you want to read the other reviews without listening to the song, and this is going to be a theme throughout today's episode, if you listen to the song and then you read the reviews, you'll understand who's trying to sell which narrative. But if you just read the reviews, then you're not going to understand. It's relatively understated. He doesn't come out and say, liberals are crazy in those words. He paints that picture for sure, but he's not some crazy conservative nut job necessarily in the lyrics of this song. I want to be very specific. As far as the performance goes, it's lackluster. The production is pretty good. I mean, he is Aaron freaking Lewis. I would imagine he has some pretty good producer friends by this point. But as far as like just the overall feel of the song, it's boring, it meanders, it kind of goes nowhere. There is a bit of a crescendo towards the end where he really flexes those vocal muscles and shows us that he actually has them still, and that is fantastic. Regardless of what you think about the words coming out of his mouth, the tones coming out of his mouth are beautiful, are fantastic. So would I recommend this song? Not necessarily. You have to really be into it just to hear the awesome that is Aaron Lewis's voice. If you're coming for some sort of message, even if you agree with his message, you're probably going to be let down. Our next song on the docket for micro review / reactions is a band called Thought Crimes. This song is called Wedlock Waltz. The reason we're doing this song is because their drummer was the last drummer to play for Dillinger Escape Plan. So he's got some big shoes to fill with this new band. Kind of making that association seems to be the way they want us to go. There is definitely a lot of chaos going on in this song. There are sections of the song. I wouldn't necessarily call it a chorus, but there is something resembling structure that they revisit from time to time that definitely has a groove that you get into and you can nod your head or bang your head, however you want to do it. But the majority of this song is cacophonous, to say the least, which is not entirely a bad thing. I am going to be a little bit critical of the fact that everything present in this track again, I've only listened to it once, so I could be off on my counts, but it seems that everything on this track is done in 4/4 time. Now, somebody coming with the pedigree of Dillinger Escape Plan only doing 4 on the floor beats is a little disappointing. Quality is definitely there in spite of that fact. But again, if you're looking for something that you have to count along in order to keep up, this is going to let you down in that respect. As far as the performances go, the performances of the band are solid. Everything is present. Everything is doing what it is supposed to be doing. Even in the crazy cacophony, you can still hear, and this is also speaking to the production of the track, you can still hear the bass and both guitars and vocals and all of the drums. I just feel like the drums are the one of the things, again, aside from the general 4/4 timing, the drums are kind of one of the things that didn't really do as much for me as I felt like it should have. So, recommend this song? Sure. If you're looking to scratch a Dillinger Escape Plan itch, this will very likely scratch that itch. It's probably going to take a couple of listens in order to really get to that point, but as it stands, yeah, I would probably recommend listening to this song if you're down for that kind of mathcore, melodic hardcore kind of stuff. All right, new music out of the way. Let's switch over to tours. At this band, actually, I was wearing their hoodie earlier today and got stopped. What is Clutch? What is Psychic Warfare? Sir, will you please? Clutch is a band. They're amazing. They're from Maine, and Psychic Warfare is not their last record, but 2 records ago. Anyway. So Clutch, tour, they are finishing up their tour, and the reason we're talking about them in the tour section is because their final 3 dates on this tour have been postponed because of the coof, as you would expect at this point. So, they have already been rescheduled. If you had tickets to those final dates, the dates were in Vermont, New Hampshire, or Washington, D.C., then hold on to your ticket. They will honor the existing tickets. They are, I believe, all 3 shows are still at the same venues. They've just pushed them back to January. So they pushed them back from October, early November into beginning of January. So you can find a link down in the description. If you still haven't got your tickets, then you have plenty of time to do so. That is all we have for tours. We briefly have a new news piece that has to do with Slipknot. Slipknot, Corey Taylor says in a recent interview that they are so close to releasing new music, it's probably going to happen within the month. That's really all we got there. I just had to share it because I'm kind of excited to see what happens on a new record for Slipknot, because I really, really dug the last record so much. They can only go up, I feel like, because it sounded like they were still growing with the 2 new members, whatnot, and so forth. So Yeah, pretty excited about that. That's all we got for music though, nerds. And that is the nerdy music news. If you want to see the entire news episode, then check the top link down in the description, assuming you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching on a different platform, then go check out the YouTube, youtube.com/generallynerdy, or generallynerdy.net is where all of the things get posted for free, and patreon.com/generallynerdy is the place to go get behind the paywall and see all of those things. So go check out the full episode, go check out other stuff that's happening on the page. You can see the links right there to the side of my face. Otherwise, thank you very much, nerds. We're gonna go, but before we do, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.